What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Other Side of the Firewall podcast, where we talk about the latest and greatest of cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who've made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, and as always, I'm joined by Shannon.
What's up? What's up?
What's going on? Welcome to Tuesday's episode. So if you have not tuned in to Mondays, please go back and listen to that one. We talk about the Apple iOS, iPad iOS, Mac OS, and Safari, and how they were susceptible to a 0-day. So definitely tune in for that one. Get all that great news and update your phones if you're an Apple type person. And then tune in for tomorrow's episode, which will be our discussion, where we talk about the world record breaking DDoS attack that just took place. So we'll go over that and kind of give our thoughts. And then Friday, we talk about everything else. So movies, books, TV shows, all that good stuff. Without further ado, I give it to Shannon.
All right, everybody. This one actually comes from bleepingcomputer.com. And it's written by Sergey Gatlin. This one's titled FBI is investigating a cybersecurity incident on its network. So this just goes to prove that nobody is immune, right? So everybody can get got. That's what this shows us, right? But the US FBI is investigating malicious cyber activity on its network. Now, they say they've already contained it and they call it an isolated incident, but they're trying to see the scope and overall impact of it. And pretty much what it was their servers were hacked and they're pushing spam messages. So what the FBI does, the FBI works with all types of different law enforcement throughout the country, right? So what they have is it's from they call it the FBI's Law Enforcement Enterprise Portal, LEAP, L-E-E-P. And what ended up happening was someone got a hold of that and they started sending out spam messages through LEAP. And it's gotten to at least 100,000 mailboxes. So again, because they use that to coordinate with local law enforcement throughout the country, all those places are seeing this spam come in. And it was nothing malicious in that they were giving out, ongoing investigation data or people's PII or anything like that. They assure us that all that's been protected, right? They're like, okay, yes, this did happen where you got the spam messages that come from an FBI operated server, but it was just for pushing notifications, right? And it was not part of the FBI's corporate service. Like I said, that which is PII, their network on ongoing investigations, things like that. None of that was done, but this could be one of those things where you already have groups of people, even in law enforcement, right, that don't trust the FBI, right? So to see stuff like this is just more ammo for them to say, oh, see, this is why you can't trust the government, right? This is why you can't let them come in and help with this, that, and the third. Even though they have more resources, it can still happen to them, right? And nobody's ever said it'll never happen to bigger branches, bigger branches of law enforcement, right? Nobody's ever said that. The three letters can get got too, right? Your CIAs, your FBIs, your DEAs, ATF, all those three letters that they use computers as well, right? You just hope that because they have more resources, they're better protecting them. But again, this is one of those ones where it's more of an embarrassment more than it is something that's a national security issue right now, I'll say, right? They could investigate and see maybe that they did get infiltrated elsewhere, right? But as of right now, they're saying no, it was an isolated incident, just pushing spam. So that we'll investigate, we'll see what we can do better. And I imagine it's one of those things where there's levels to it, right? They're not protecting everything at the same security level, right? So if it's just something that for setting out notifications, I'm not gonna say it's not protected, but it's getting less protected than any servers they have that are doing the investigations and things of that nature, right? So it's more of an embarrassment thing. And I know the FBI is not a large corporation, but it's like public trust, right? When stuff like this gets out, that's what you stand to lose, right? Like the FBI can't protect their own stuff. How can I expect them to do something for me or work with our law enforcement here in, BFE, Mississippi, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's a black eye for sure, but not as bad as it could have been. But what's your thoughts on this, Ryan?
Yeah, I agree with you. And it's not a good look, but when you're an organization that targets cyber criminals, like you're going to get retaliation because of it. So if anything, it's kind of a testament to how good they are that this doesn't happen as frequently. But yeah, the spam emails being sent out, we talked about that. That was probably mid last year, if not late last year. We brought it up and how it was sending out, those false emails. So now for this to come on the heels of that, yeah, it's definitely not a good look. But I'm sure they're being attacked on a daily basis by lots of different organizations, to include nation states as well. So you can't catch them all, basically, is in this regard. So it's good that they're transparent and kind of showed their hand about it. I thought it was kind of odd, if not maybe a coincidence, that it was their FBI New York field office computer system that specifically investigates child sexual exploitation, right? So that could be either being targeted because of that. They're trying to either get some data to then hold ransom, or get PII to then use in some regard to maybe blackmail or exploit people. Um,
I just thought it was
so
because it was their largest. Like in New York, that's
could be
gonna be
that,
their
yeah.
largest. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, it could be. So yeah, it could be random, or it could be a targeted attack. Who's to say? I would assume that it wouldn't be something insider. Like I was thinking, like maybe because they're pulling people's systems and things of that nature. Like maybe they caught something off someone's hard drive. But I would assume those systems would be air gapped, right? Like anything to be in their forensic division will probably be off network, just in case they were to pull something that would cause uh, system-wide or enterprise-wide disruption or failure in some regard. So it could just be a coincidence. But like you said, it could just be because it's the biggest office. So that's the one that gets hit the most frequently as well. But all speculation at this point. Hopefully, when they do talk about it again, it's already been resolved and they're already working towards being, safer, more protected. It doesn't roll into something bigger. Um, but we will see. But it's good to have these follow-up conversations. Like we did talk about Leap in the spam emails, and now we're going over this what they call an isolated incident as well. So it's definitely interesting. But I also don't believe it's much to worry about any time in the near future, because they probably would have disclosed that as well. They seem to be pretty transparent, because it's not national security in this regard. It's more like, oh man, we messed up. Someone got us this time. So but so more to come. But definitely an interesting conversation. And speaking of interesting conversations, definitely tune in for tomorrow's discussion. Right after you like, share, subscribe to the podcast. I always forget to plug that. You gotta put in the call to actions. So share with your friends, tune in, all that good stuff, and continue to leave us your feedback. Like, we like your comments. I like responding to them. But I think that pretty much ends it for this episode. So definitely check us out on all the websites that go by our name. You can hit me up personally. I'm at RyRy Security Guy. That's RYRY Security Guy. I'm on LinkedIn, Clubhouse, and Twitter. Stay safe, stay secure.